when you
west.
have those type of issues that you have to navigate around and being a creature of habit as a player, you now got to figure out, okay, what do I do, Jay? My family, and this is basically for this week's game, I got to figure out my family. I got to figure them out. What they going to do? Are they coming with me to South Florida? Are they going to Georgia? Like, what's happening?
Let me explain. So people I'm sure are aware, Hurricane Ian is in the area, and it's a major hurricane. And so this is threatening the site of Tampa's next game, which is supposed to be a home game, but it seems to have to be played somewhere else. Right now they're practicing.
Played in Kansas City.
Right, where whoever has a road game, right? Right now they're practicing still in Florida, just they went north a bit, but it seems to me that if the entire state is threatened by a hurricane, they should probably just get out of state.
Yeah,
seems to me.
Yeah, so I wonder where they would go to play the game at, though.
Yeah, who's on the road?
Let me, because Kia, I know you said
New Orleans is in
where they're at this
London right now.
Mm-hmm.
You could play there, yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Kansas City at?
What's the scope of Ian's range, too?
What do you mean? Where's Kansas City at?
Where they play it at this weekend?
They play. That's who Tampa's playing.
Oh, Tampa's
They're
playing
playing Kansas City. That's why I said.
You
play
said Kansas
in
City.
Oh,
Yeah, but you
okay.
can't. No, if you play in Kansas City, you really are
Threw me
giving.
for a loop. I was like,
yeah, I know you were looking at me weird. I know what.
You're giving Kansas City, like, suddenly Tampa really doesn't have home field. You know what I mean?
No, you can't
but
give,
where's Tampa
give Kansas City a home game.
Right,
Again.
you can't give
But
them a
where's
home game.
Tampa gonna have a home game?
New Orleans.
Yeah.
New Orleans, I would
But
think.
Is New Orleans out of the range of the?
I guess
I'm
you don't know
unaware
where,
of.
you don't know which way Hurricane Ian is going wind-wise. To I guess, I don't know.
But who knows? When you go through these situations, though, I've had to not as well. When I was in Tampa, we boarded up, but we didn't leave because it turned or whatever.
Right.
But being in California and having the wildfires and having to evacuate,
While you were active?
I've done it while I was active.
Uh-huh.
I've done it recently where I was actually here working, doing something in the fires. You know me, I'm like, it don't even worry. It's not going to jump the freeway.
Right.
And then all of a sudden,
Jump
it jumps the freeway. And I'm like, oh, crap, this is going on. But you got to figure out how to put your family in certain situations because literally every hotel within, was completely.
No Airbnbs.
No, it wasn't none of that.
Well,
it was
that's the thing, Max.
completely
Now
gone.
it's like, how do I get my family out of the state? How do I get them to a place that's safe? Where are we practicing? Where is the game? There's a lot of unknown. It's not like, hey, just somebody go somewhere. We know it's all set. Like things are moving.
Yeah. And like the fires, for instance, it happens so fast, right? It just comes and it'll just completely wipe everything out. Now you thinking, okay, I got my family safe. They're all the way down in South Orange County, all packed in one little room, the whole deal, because everything's booked up, because everybody's going that way.
Of course.
Oh my God, what about my valuables? What about the things? What about all of those sort of things go on in your mind?
Are you guys, and Jay, have you ever experienced something like that where you had to get out of Dodge?
I've got it out of Dodge for hurricanes before, for sure.
Right.
Living down south.
So if you're an active player, how are you able to compartmentalize or to separate? Like, does it affect your play? Does it affect the game?
I mean, I guess it depends upon the situation. I mean, if everything is set, there's always going to be questions. You're always going to have some kind of anxiety. But I will tell you, though, I don't know, Key, how you felt. Like, once I stepped in between those lines,
I was just about to say,
all that stuff goes away.
Is it is it good because it's an escape?
Man, so
Let me tell you something that Jay kind of alluded to on the gossip side or whatever with Tom. This is not about Tom, it's about me. The year we won the Super Bowl, I was in the midst of a very nasty divorce. In the middle of the Super Bowl run. When I went home, when I went home, it was a different world, right? It was a different world. When I got to the locker room, different.
You were you again.
Oh,
you
my
felt
God.
like yourself.
I was
it's a safe
balling, no
haven.
question about it.
Safe haven.
But when I got home, I was trying to figure everything out. Miserable, losing of weight,
I know,
not wanting to eat.
Yeah.
Then I get back to the facility.
And you're normal again.
And I'm normal again.
So I've experienced something like that in my life, living through a tragedy in my family. And then I remember hearing I was at a fight. I couldn't function for a couple weeks. And then I was at a fight, and I heard the crowd. I was in the bathroom. I heard the crowd, and I thought, oh, this is where I belong. Like, I'm glad to be here. And then when I could work again, like just start to do some stuff in box. it was actually a place, the one place where I would forget about everything. And so for that reason, you kind of like it. That was my experience.
Yeah, and that happens in this situation with the Tampa Bay Bucks. I'm sure, that they probably by now, this is Wednesday, by now, and they've made, they've figured out what to do with their families, and now they could just concentrate on football.
That's one of the most challenging things for a lot of athletes when they leave their respective sports. Like that whole man in the arena thing, like that's what you love. That's what you yearn for, right? You're with all your boys. It's like it's coming to work, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're with all your boys. You're shooting you're hanging out. You're competing. You're having fun. But when you leave that, you don't have that anywhere, like a safe place to go. Like you're really in your life, and you have to deal with yourself. And a lot of dudes only deal with themselves on the field or on the court. It's different.
And then eventually I turned my house into a party house. So,
and that's a transition.
Eventually, this is a party house.
So in situations like this, though, I imagine a team like Tampa with Tom Brady at the helm maybe is better positioned to deal with these kind of distractions because you have a strong leader on the team with a lot of experience. Does that make this leadership on a team make
absolutely.
a difference in times like this?
Todd Bowles, great leadership as a coach.
Leftwich.
Byron Leftwich, great leadership as a coach. Tom Brady, great leadership as a player, not abandoning his teammates and deciding that he's going to just go off somewhere and they got to figure it out on their own. I mean, think about it. He let AB come stay at his house.
Right.
So you know that you have a great leader in situations like that. Now, it didn't work out in the end, but, he still gave him an opportunity to come, you can sleep on my couch in my I'm sure it's not a couch because he probably got an extra 10 bedroom.
Yeah, I'm guessing he wasn't on the couch.
Yeah, I'm guessing he probably was in a king-size bed in the guest room.
In a guest swing.
But
yeah,
those are the sort of leaders that you need, and that's what leadership is all about.
Yeah. I'm sick, though, because that $15, $20 million house that they're building down in Miami, man, with that hurricane coming, I'm sick.
$15, $20 million house, who's building?
Oh, Tom's building. Oh,
you mean $50 million house?
Is it 50? What?
You know me, I know everything.
That's what I'm saying. Wait, it's 15 to 20. 50?
15 to 20, that's the guest wing.
Now.
The 15 to 20 is just for AB. That's just for where AB sleeps when he comes over.
You gotta think, Jay. The dirt alone.
Yeah, on
just
the water.
Just the dirt alone, what that cost him. That was 20.
Oh, God. I'm sick.
Why?
Just because that whole
Jay is a modest, hard-working, blue-collar guy.
There's a hurricane coming through.
Yeah, but that's okay. You got insurance. It'll be fine.
Yeah. All right, I'm just saying.
I mean, you say you're sick. I've seen your spread.
See, don't stop.
I've seen it. It's fine.
It's not that.
And I've seen Max's 3 spreads. It's not that. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like you, Jay, I'm an honest, hardworking, blue-collar
guy. We're just heads down, Max. We're just out here to work.
Heads down.
Just keep pocketing the money. Don't give up the
head down. Just move forward. Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
Not looking for anything.
It is like even just like we come to work and we're working. I mean, there's stuff to do. But it does help what you were saying, Jay, about like how when you get between, it does help. Like even we're going on no sleep, traveling, whatever it is, you coming in on 2 hours. It is good to know that the place where you're going to have a good time, right? Like you can lose yourself for a while.
Oh no, I have a great time. When I'm here, I get a great time.
I think not everyone has a job like that, where you can loot, like, it's the difference between. It sounds like I'm about to do a read from my computer career or something, right? But it is a difference between a job and a career. And people who feel good about where they work, it's easier to kind of handle this kind of stuff, I imagine. And that I would imagine that goes also for good teams. If you're on a bad team and this happens.
I mean, Max, I played pickup basketball for free. You're telling me somebody was going to pay me millions of dollars to play basketball?
Well, but what I'm saying is the analogy for me here is if it's a bad team and it happens, I imagine in a way getting to work isn't even an escape. But if you're on the Bucks or a team like that, it's not just that you're going to a place where you can forget yourself. It's a good place to go. Like you think we have a chance to win every time we go there.
Of course. I mean, but you think that way no matter what type of team you're on, you always got a shot. That's just what you think.
When the Jets were 1-15.
I was about to say, unless you're with the New York Jets.
Imagine if there's a natural disaster you had to deal with.
I mean, when I got in the league, I thought I was going to the Super Bowl my first year because I came out the Rose Bowl